This is Shelby Harris, and you're listening to All Eyes on Cleveland.
Welcome into the OBR streaming network. My name is Brad Ward. This is a brand new edition of All Eyes on Cleveland. See you filing into the chat as usual. Good to see you all. Joining us tonight, the one and only Casey Kinnamon, back from vacation, looking fresh as a daisy. Hope you got to spend some time with the fam on the beach. And yes, it is a very funny title of the show, James. I agree. How we doing? How was vacation, Case Dog?
It was good. I did not get attacked by a shark. That's a win.
Yeah.
And for the first time in my life, at least my adult life, I didn't gain weight on vacation. So that's a victory.
Wow. Good job. Good job.
Yep.
Good evening to you as well, Drew, and all of you. I do have jokes, James. Yes. Brown's speeding towards training camp.
Shameless.
Jacob Roach joining us tonight. The man, the myth, the legend. Follow him on at Roachism13. What's going on, Jay Roach?
Oh, not a whole lot. Just arguing with people about speed.
Speed. Speed.
Lots of speed.
What are you arguing about speed for? That's
Lots
crazy.
Of questions.
All right, we'll get to it. You know, it's thing or not a thing tonight. So that'll certainly be involved. But when I think of speed, I think of this.
Roads? Where we're going, we don't need roads.
He exceeded 88 miles per hour.
So
Yeah, he could have. Yeah.
1.21 gigawatts, and he would have been back in 1955, trying not to bang his mom. Hey, now.
We didn't even get 10 minutes.
That's literally what happens in the movie. I'm not.
It is what happened. Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
what happens.
That's part of the movie. Come on, let's not
That's
act
not the
like
best
I'm
part
out of
of the
line
movie.
here.
That's the weirdest part of the movie.
That is the weirdest part of the movie, if you think about it. But part of it. Yeah, and we don't need roads. So, yes, Jack Duffin, what's going up quicker, the OBR subscriber numbers or someone's speedometer?
Heyo.
Heyo. Someone's points on their license would be another one. All right, let's we've got an announcement tonight. I don't have that sound effect. All right, we've got a brand new announcement tonight. We have new merch in the merch store, baby. Let's hold on. I got something for this. New merch in the merch store. We're revealing it for the first time tonight. I am wearing it.
What's up?
It's brand new in the merch store. Is literally Kinnamon eating spam. You can get it now. Right now in the merch store at obr.myprostores.com.
With friends like this, chat, who the hell needs enemies? You know what I mean?
What? Look at this shirt.
Do you know how hard this has been for me?
It is a gem.
Do you understand how hard it's been for me to have kept this from you and not just telling the whole internet?
You're burying the lead. How hard has it been for you to keep your wife off of you when you're wearing that?
Oh. Yeah, is that what it is? Is that what it is?
Hey, up.
Oh,
big. What a payoff. Where can you get one? You can get one at the link in the description. And there it is right there. obr.myprostores.com.
And if you mail it to me, I'll sign it for you.
I'm done. Gotta happen.
I gotta give OG Philly a shout out because it started as an idea in my head, which was I went and I watched you eating the spam, and I got this image, and I screenshotted it, and I sent him this message. I said, can you put this on a shirt? And I just wanted to say Spam Kinnamon. That's all I wanted. And then he was like, sure. And then he didn't say anything to me, but clearly had an even better idea to put it on a can of Spam on the picture. And then he did that. Sends it to
you
me.
can
He's like,
actually see like the Spam in the bowl.
Yeah.
Ugh.
yeah.
I can't look at it too
OG
closely.
did that so fast he almost got shirt burn.
Yep.
Oh.
Spam!
He's not pleased.
Spam! Spam!
Oh yeah.
It was a thing. It happened. Now it's immortalized forever. Thanks a lot.
All right.
You're welcome.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Good to see you all here again. Sorry for our shenanigans at the top of the show, but it had to be done. Nice t-shirt. Spamtastic. Woo forever.
Woo forever, DeAndre.
Okay. So there it is. Case. There it is.
Tremendous.
And
It's very hard to do this, but I'm pretty speechless right now.
I didn't birth this idea. This was all Jacob Roach. So
Yeah.
I'll give
I was
him
like,
credit.
Clearly on board. So
I was like,
Come on,
are you
course,
in?
Of course. All right. This is All Eyes on Cleveland on the OBR streaming network. Get your Spam Kinnamon t-shirts at my obr.myprostores.com, and the link is in the description below. All right. Let's topical news. Well, I don't know how I want to do this first.
it doesn't matter. It's all downhill from here after that. So
Yep, it is. But the what were we gonna do? Okay, so I want to do All Eyes on Spam. Yep. Audio even better than the shirt. Yeah. That is the audio clip that I could find.
Spam! Spam! Spam!
I'm receiving text messages right now from people watching this.
Are you?
Yeah. Nice shirt.
I love it.
OG says it's not in the shirt in the store quite yet, but
Okay.
he's gonna get it in there.
It'll be there shortly. Thanks, Philly. You're the man.
Thanks, Philly.
Forever.
I did tell a lot of people that it was happening so that they'd be watching.
Yeah.
I mean it though. DM me. I'll autograph that.
Please.
Or burn it when you send it to me. One of those two things will definitely happen.
Yeah. Sure.
All right. So the news. All right. So tonight, yes, they did cut Trey McKitty. Well, so I did. We can talk about this first. That would it.
Season's over.
Why? Jacob Roach, why cut Trey McKitty? I have a little tidbit of this guy that they brought in. He's a UFL guy, right?
Yeah.
And the question is, by all accounts, McKitty was like tearing it up. Every time I saw him, he was catching a ball.
He's making rookie quarterbacks look pretty good, isn't he?
Yeah. I mean, what was that all? Why they gotta get rid of my guy? He's a big boy too.
Yeah, I don't know, because like I was like, well, is this a guy that was just really because I didn't know who the other guy, I didn't know who Sal Cannella was, and so I went back and looked. He had like 300 receiving yards in 3 years at Auburn. Like I know he had a good year in the UFL or the XFL, whatever he was. Here he is. Yeah, I'm not really. Of all the guys to cut, I just don't think Trey McKitty was the guy, just because I think he was doing some fun stuff. But
That's what I thought.
I don't know.
I mean,
I don't know if they just
they
think
went
this guy's
from
better.
they went from a guy that was huge. This guy is not very big, it doesn't appear.
Looks like a wide receiver body to me.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't even look like a tight end.
So the question is, thing or not a thing? Trey McKitty getting cut and bringing in this jabron.
I'll go first. It's not a thing.
Not a thing.
No, Trey McKitty. I mean, look, it was a nice story so far through, when there's 90 guys on the roster. But, like, is he cracking the 53? Is he necessary on a practice squad? Like, it's, obviously Njoku, it's Fan and Whitebeard. I think that's your three.
Okay, so that was going to be my next question is what makes it not a thing? Is it Whitebeard?
Yeah. I mean, and look, if you were going to have a sticking point with this tight end room right now, do you want to bring in a dedicated blocker? A guy that's just his role between Njoku and Fannin? Njoku we know can handle the blocking, but you want to get him out in routes. In 12 personnel, do you just need someone who can, stay close to line of scrimmage, be more of a double guy on the edge, opposite Njoku?
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you there. What do you think, Jacob? Did you like McKitty?
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of in the same spot where it was like I was intrigued enough just because he made some plays in spring, and I think that I do think Whitebeard is the guy at number 3, but I do think it's a little bit open-ended depending on what happens in training camp, and I thought McKitty could be a guy to push for it. But I'm not going to lose any sleep over this move, but I did kind of find it weird because I am more intrigued by the guy they cut compared to the guy they signed.
Yeah. Me too, brother. Now where is my, so I had a video for this too. Hold on. Let me see if I can find it. Maybe not. Maybe it has escaped me in all my shenanigans. Stuff to keep everything in track. All right. But, nope, I have it somewhere. No, I don't. All right. Anyways. So, thing or not a thing, let's move over to this nonsense that is happening. Shador Sanders pulled over going 101 miles per hour. Then we find out that this is not the first instance. Earlier in June was pulled over going 91 miles per hour. And didn't show up for the no-show at they do with the traffic stuff that there's like an arraignment, but not really. And then they let you go, and then you can just pay it or whatever, or you can show up and contest it. He was a no-show. People making a big deal out of the no-show, I think, is kind of silly because you can just pay it online. It's not like, you know what I mean?
It's not a bench warrant.
Show up if you're contesting it, right?
Right.
Isn't that the gist of that sort of thing? So now 101, so that'll be a second one. I had a clip of Colin Cowherd going, who has been nothing but on the Shador bandwagon up to this point, saying basically, with this information, quarterback, you want to be QB1, you can't have this stuff happening. Like, what are you doing going over 100 miles an hour if you want to be quarterback of the football team? Thing or not a thing, Jacob Roach?
It's a thing, but it's not a massive thing. But this is the reason it's a thing for me, because it's the second incident. The thing about it is I understand that it wasn't as big of a deal that the failure to appear, because it wasn't like a true bench warrant wasn't out for his arrest. They didn't issue a bench warrant to arrest him for not showing up. It wasn't that situation. But he was going 101 miles an hour on the day he was supposed to go to court for a ticket for speeding. And then he decided that morning that he would go even faster. And to me,
I don't think that was a logical. I doubt he said, "Oh, I'm supposed to go to court today. Let me rev it up to 101." So it's not. That was little.
I know that part, but I'm just saying there's some irony in there. And the reason it's a thing for me is is this going to continue to be a thing? It's happened twice in 2 weeks. I was talking to Dave Bacon on Sports for CLE, and he said, nothing good happens after 2 a.m. And he was the son of a Cleveland cop who said nothing good happens over 75 miles an hour. If you blow a tire at 101 miles an hour, you're dead. You're dead. That's my point. That that's reckless op. You can be arrested for reckless op going 101 miles an hour. I'm not saying cut the guy. I think I've seen some people say cut the guy. That's ludicrous. That's ludicrous. Absolutely.
That's not a thing.
And Cowherd being like, oh, I'm completely out on him now. And it's no, that's also dumb. That's also too far. But it bothers me because this is a guy that we've had entitlement and maturity questions about. And then he does this, bang, bang. And it's you were doing such a good thing. Yes, it is true. You can be arrested. Oh, I'm sorry. You're saying you've had your tire blown at 101. You didn't die. Because if that's the case, that's crazy. But my thing is it's poor decision making. It's you just got nailed for it 2 weeks ago, and then you did it again. It rubs me the wrong way. I like Shador. I haven't. No, I haven't.
Do you?
I do. Did you watch Monday's game tape? You would know that I like him a lot.
You bet eating the hot chip bet. Let's bring it up right now.
Yeah.
With me, you took Dylan Gabriel versus the field.
Yes.
To start in week 1.
That doesn't mean I hate Shador. I just don't think he'll be ready.
It doesn't mean you like Dylan Gabriel better than him.
Yeah. I had Shador Sanders.
Those things can be true.
Yeah. Well, I also think Dylan Gabriel is more pro ready than Shador. I think Shador's got more talent. I had him as QB2 and number 23 on my board. Dylan Gabriel is outside of my top 100. I just think he has a higher floor and he's more ready. My thing is just I don't like that. I just don't like it. And I'm not going to cut the guy. I'm not going to say, nope, now you can't be the quarterback of my team. I think that's ludicrous and too far out. But this is starting to build. Do not make this a habit. Do not make this a trend. Multiple occurrences in 2 weeks. That concerns me. But maybe he never does anything ever again like this, and we don't have to worry about it. But I'm hesitant, and it just rubs me the wrong way.
Casey Kinnamon, thing or not a thing?
Can you pop up Rodney's comment, please?
No, trust me, Rodney. Same energy was here when Myles Garrett.
That's what I was about to say. I called Myles a dumbass for what he did too.
Yeah, seriously,
it is dumb. It's unnecessary. And to your point earlier, he set out saying, "Hey, I'm supposed to be quick. I'm going to go faster." No, but he didn't think to go slower. He didn't think, you know what I mean? This is a decision-making issue. And is it a thing right now? Not really. Could it become one? Absolutely. Could it have been a horrendous thing if something would have happened at 100 miles an hour? And we're having a way different conversation, and I doubt anyone out there who doesn't drive a semi for a living knows someone who drives more than me. I see crazy speeds all day long. So I know that people do this. I know that people break 80, 90, 100 on freeways. It's a thing. But when you're auditioning to be the face of a franchise, a multi-billion-dollar franchise, and first impressions matter. And some people viewed him as immature and stuff. Whether that has any merit or not at that time doesn't matter, because he gave those folks ammo by doing this. So now they have something to point to, something tangible that has happened since he's been here. Because since he's been here, he's been a model citizen. This is the only infractions we can look at that we know of. We could be like, I don't like that, And if it doesn't happen again, if this is the last time we ever talk about him speeding, and we're 3-4 years down the line, and he's been starting for 2.5 seasons and playing well, this doesn't matter at all. It'll be a small little byline, and some people who still hold it against him. But for the reality, no. And we've seen players, dude, we're coming off the hills of Deshaun fucking Watson. This on the meter, this doesn't even register compared to what we've dealt with. So is it a thing? Not really. Could it become one? Absolutely. it's up to him and how he proceeds going forward.
This is a massive nothing burger for me. This means nothing. This means nothing to me. I'm sorry. This is not a thing. Listen, it's a speeding ticket, guys. 101, 2 speeding tickets. Don't matter. 101 in a 65 is not that insane. You shouldn't be doing it. No, but it does not like it's like this whole like, oh, he's immature because he was going 100 miles per hour. Dude, he's not, that doesn't make him immature as a quarterback or as a leader of the team. It might make him what he is, 22 years old, who wasn't driving that around, you know what I mean? Fucking around a little bit when you were that age. I'm just saying, like, yes, he has to be the face of a franchise and a quarterback, but it doesn't impact anything that he's done in the building. Since he's gotten the building, he's been nothing but good. He's answered every question the right way. This is a speeding ticket. It's not privilege. What are you talking about? Privilege? He has to do this. I hate this idea. Oh, it's privilege. What do you mean? He has to do the same thing that anybody else has to do with their caught speeding. They have to pay the ticket. It's the same. There's not a different bar for him and somebody else that got caught going 101 in a 70 mile per hour zone or whatever. It's just pay the ticket. It means nothing. He didn't get reckless operation, McLovin. I'm sorry, he didn't. It's not privilege. It's not anything. He was speeding. Do you understand how many people get pulled over for speeding a day in this country? It is nothing. It's not an indictment on him, his maturity, nothing. Move on. Miss me with this shit. I hate this crap. Privilege, because privilege. That's a great explanation. What? No. People go fast in their car 2 times. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It doesn't impact his quarterback. It doesn't impact whether he knows the playbook. It doesn't impact the way that he's interviewed. He has been pitch perfect model citizen since the second he stepped into Berea. This is a blip on the radar. If it happens again, fine. But right now, it means nothing. It means nothing.
I just want to say, I'm not saying that I'm not saying just that the speeding tickets were a maturity thing. What I was pointing out was that was a pre-draft thing, and then he did that twice. And
what was
in and of itself,
thing? What was
maturity issues? There were maturity issues and questions about him.
Okay, but what information? Tell me what he did that was immature at Colorado in your eye, or the pre-draft. What was immature? What did he do that was immature? The stuff that the Giants said?
The stuff that the Giants said when he publicly called out teammates in his offensive line multiple times on social media and during interviews when he had fights with coaches. Like, that was
fights with coaches.
Yes, he argued with Colorado coaches on multiple occasions.
Okay. During the game?
During practices. I don't know if it was during a game. I don't know. But all I'm saying is, if that was a cloud that was around him, and like Casey said, you then give people ammunition to say, see, I was right about this. And I don't know.
It's nothing. It's driving a car. What does driving a car fast have anything to do with what we're asking him to do on the football field? It has nothing. One has nothing to do with the other unless he does it again.
Okay. I got you.
Right?
I'm with you.
If it was even if it was the 100 miles an hour standalone, I would be 100%. Like, it's like, you know what I mean? Like, everyone's sped before. That is a bit excessive, but it is what it is. It's the 2 of them. I don't think it's a thing, but it's not nothing. It's not no thing.
Okay. It's
not the beginning of a trend. If it keeps happening, 2 is how you get to a trend, because then it's 3 and then it's 4.
It's not like he hasn't been. He's been driving for years and years and years. Has this happened before, or was it just an unfortunate month? No, it hasn't.
Yeah.
So but let's talk about the real issues here. Is why isn't the ticket paid? Like, what are you waiting on? You can do that online.
Issued a statement today that the Browns talked to him and he was taking care of the ticket.
Yeah, well, that should have already happened though. Like,
I understand
before the court date, and you get this many people around you. Like, have someone drive you, bro. If like that's pretty simple.
I guess, but if he's not drinking or out partying, he can drive his car. Why not?
Can he?
But some people like to drive.
Can he?
Yeah, if he just slows down a little bit.
A little bit, yeah.
You guys are acting like 101 miles per hour is like insane. It's not that insane in the 70-mile-per-hour zone. It's really not.
It's
really
40
not.
miles an hour over this speed limit.
30.
I thought it was a 65.
I'm
What
sorry,
are we
30.
doing here, boys?
I thought
Okay,
it was
35.
I'm not a math
then.
guy.
Who cares?
I'm
It's
not-
30. Yes. Sorry. I can't
that
math.
math doesn't math, but
That was
either
not
way.
math. That was horrible math. I apologize for that.
Look, my question is, did he have to poop?
MC
Because if you have to, if you had to
If he had
poop,
to
I forgive all this.
Yeah, that's true. That's fair.
What?
If he had to poop,
If you had to poop, I forgive all of it.
He was just in a hurry to get home and read his playbook. That's it.
That's exactly what happened.
That's it. That's all it was. He was
All
in a
ball
hurry
all
to
the
get
time.
home and read his playbook. He wanted that extra few minutes to study. I mean, that's it.
All gas, no brakes.
that's to say
Listen,
it's hard to argue. With that one.
I would feel differently if he was out and he got, and he was drinking and partying and this and the other thing. It's a speeding ticket. There's no, how many guys in the league have been pulled over for speeding? Everybody under the sun. I mean, come on. We've been through this with Miles, almost killed himself.
Yes.
Like
But,
this.
Well, for
the
better or
point
worse,
of-
we hold quarterbacks to a different standard. Do we or
Okay,
do we not?
Fine. You
Name
want
them
to hold
quarterbacks who have
hold
been
him to a
best-
different standard.
or
That's fine.
McKitty.
For me, he has been through one mini camp.
Mhm.
Okay. And, so let's see. Besides this, he's been fine so far, right?
Yes, absolutely.
He's been great.
Yeah.
So any topics about his immaturity or yelling at an offensive lineman, which he probably should have been yelling at his offensive linemen. They were terrible.
That's true. That is
What?
true. I said,
Yeah,
that's accurate. They were pretty bad.
And I saw other people. You talk about like context, like you framed that as like immature, right? And then I heard somebody else on NFL Network talking about him going up to a receiver after a play and chewing him out about him not running the right route and the respect that he showed him back in responding to that, and him being like, that's a positive thing. That's what you need out of your quarterback. He has to demand perfection from his receivers. They respect him. They do this, that, the other. See, you can paint it in both lights.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
That's fair.
You can come down on either side of this thing. That, to me, listen, if he does something else off the field, that's fine. But for this, one doesn't impact the other yet.
Okay. And that's kind of what I'm saying is since it's two, it's like that's how trends get going, and I don't want it to be a trend. That's it for me. It's like, okay, it's happened multiple times in a quick amount of time. It's like have somebody else drive you or something. It's like that's just my thing. But yeah, no, I would never do like Cowherd. I saw that statement, by the way. I know you can't find the video. That was I was like, he didn't like it. If he had crashed at 100 miles an hour, sure, be out on him 100%. Get it. Totally understand that. If he had committed like a violent crime, sure, be out him on 100%. I'm just kind of like, I don't like this. Maybe clean this. Don't do it again. But like, you're not cutting him. It's not affecting where he is on the depth chart. Like that's ludicrous to me. So like, I guess I'm somewhere in the middle where I'm just like, I'm concerned it'll become a trend because it's already happened multiple times. That's why I think it's a thing. That's it.
So this is out of control with this. Look at chat. What are you saying here? It was once with Watson until it was 64. Okay, this is not the same thing. You cannot compare that. That is insane. That's what we're talking about. I mean, please come on. It's not the same thing at all. You don't. Oh, come on. Like what? We went through the Watson thing. We had to litigate that over and over and over and over and over again. This is not that. It's a speeding ticket. You pay a fine and you move on. If he does something else, then they'll have my. At this point, It's a speeding ticket, folks. It's a speeding ticket. You can put whatever number you want on it. It's a speeding ticket. That's it. He's still going to be the same guy when he walks back into the building. He's still going to be the same guy. He still has to earn the job the same as he was before. It does nothing to the first impressions that he's made for me in Cleveland. He's still been pitch perfect. He made a mistake off the field that 20-year-olds make all the fucking time. Come on. Move on from it. If he does it again, that's fine.
Okay.
Then we'll take it more seriously. But I agree. But, I mean, okay, it wasn't a reckless driving ticket. It was a speeding ticket, right? They didn't give him reckless driving.
No, they could have given him reckless off, but I do not believe they did. I believe it was just a speeding ticket.
So they could have given him that, I guess, but they did not give him reckless driving. So it's a speeding ticket. So who cares?
Yep.
Like, welcome to the NFL, son. I mean, it won't be the first. It won't be the last. You know, let's just, you know, I just think it's silly to get so. You guys are right about the ammunition thing. It gives people that want him to fail ammunition, right?
Yeah, don't do that, man.
So in that case, yeah, should he have to be extra cautious not to give them that ammunition? Yes, but like where I thought he would give them ammunition would have been like, this is not what I thought, right? Like I thought it would be like a comment or a statement or a anything. Speeding ticket to me is no indictment on his work ethic so far, what he's done on the field.
No,
so
none whatsoever.
And he's, and honestly, honest to God, he has very much impressed me from that side of things. Very much. I think who was it this week? Joe Thomas talking about. Joe Thomas told him like, keep your mouth shut and your head on a swivel or whatever. And then someone asked him, well, what's your first impression of him doing that? And he's like, he's doing a fantastic job.
Yeah. Rodney, nobody is cutting him. That's absurd. That would never happen. Yeah. So it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's not a big deal. It's really not. Cowherd's an idiot. He's always been an idiot.
Always been an idiot. Yeah.
So, you know, don't listen to him. McLaughlin feels differently for sure about that. He's really upset about the speeding. It's constructive criticism. Shame, Sanders. Shame. Help him.
It just makes me think of Game of Thrones where they made.
You don't help someone stop their dumbass behavior by shaming them, dude. What?
Yeah, have you seen Game of Thrones where they make her go through the courtyard naked? She says shame. Certainly doesn't make her a better person.
That's Rebecca from Ted Lasso.
That is a disgusting act.
It's not, and you know, basically,
Roach? Where we're going, we don't
he doesn't need roads.
roads.
No, he doesn't.
Can I point out the thing no one's talking about?
Yeah.
Gabriel's minivan didn't even do 100.
I saw somebody say that he can't even get that thing above 80, so that'll never happen.
McLaughlin, you know nothing about my past experiences, so what hypocrisy? What are you talking about? What does he mean by that?
I'm sorry, I was just laughing at Charlie Chuck.
He thinks you're going to get a reckless op if you get caught with that kind of speed in the same kind of zone.
Oh, so he got favorable treatment? Oh.
Yeah, that's what he's
sorry. Did that hurt your feelings, McLaughlin? I'm sorry. So half of my job is driving too, McLaughlin. It really is. I spend all day in a car driving around. So, yeah.
Spam?
Respectfully, Brad, he's been caught speeding twice. How many times has he been caught? It's not a problem. You guys are crazy. This is crazy. You guys just want to find something. You just want to find something to. I mean, I'm starting to agree with the shed heads now. I mean, it's crazy. You guys just want to find something to put on this kid. This is crazy. It's speeding.
It's avoidable, though. It is avoidable. So
Yeah.
Sure.
you're not having to look. He did it for them.
Oh my God.
I do also think, like, I don't really think he's gonna.
Is it a big deal? Is it really?
No,
a big
I'm not
deal,
saying
you
it's a
guys?
big deal, but dude, like they're the people that are like they don't have to look for it. It's there. What do you think? You expect them to ignore it now? Like they're going to use it for whatever reason.
I'm trying to get more viewers by being a simp. McLothin, you're a fucking simp. I've never in my life tried to get more viewers by doing anything but be my fucking self, you little fucking shit. Oh my God, dude.
We need that on a soundboard.
So somebody clip that. All right.
Never in my fucking life have I fucking said a thing into a microphone that I don't fucking mean or wasn't myself.
We're doing a disservice if we do that. We have to say what we think, and where we stand on things.
Little piece of shit. Fucking call me out for fucking shit like that. Fucking in here every week, fucking watching our show, and you fucking got such a stance on fucking speeding because I don't think it's a big deal. You got to fucking act like this.
I mean,
Fucking see you later, buddy. Fucking gonzo. I'm done with that shit. I'm not dealing with that shit. Damn. All right. So, All Eyez on Cleveland. My name is Brad Ward. That's Casey Kinnamon. That's Jacob Roach. I apologize for losing my temper, but you know, that bothers me, right? Like, you can accuse me of a lot of things. You can say that I'm wrong for my opinion, but telling me that I'm just coming up with an opinion to manipulate the clicks and likes, that's some bullshit, right? Like,
It'd be different if it was his first
that.
time here watching.
Yeah.
Didn't
Sure,
know
every
who you
week.
are and how you operate.
You know exactly who I am. You know I mean, if you can disagree with me all day long, I'll listen to it, right? Like we don't have to agree on anything. But telling me that I'm just coming up with stuff just for a reaction or for whatever, that's some bullshit, and you should know me better than that by now, McLothin.
No, if that was the case, you'd be titling everything after Shador, and you know what I mean. That's not what this is.
How long have you been?
This will ever be.
Brad, are you at like 5 years on this show? How long have you been doing this show?
This show?
Yeah, it's been about 5 years. Because I've listened to this show since like episode 10 or some shit. Like I've listened to you for half a decade at this point, and I don't think I've ever heard you simp one time, especially not for views. Like I've watched you grind from like 50 subs to 1,000 subs, and that was when you were just doing it all on your own before you joined the OBR and everything, and you were grinding that shit out on Blue Wire Hustle and everything. I remember that. Like I remember all.
I
of
appreciate that.
Like I'm never.
No, I appreciate it, but you know, I've also had like 10 podcasts that failed and fell on their face before that too. Mm-hmm. So, you know, it's not like, you know, it takes a while, but I ain't going to fucking simp for you, babe.
Charlie said it. He's with you. Have a Snickers and let's move on to the next topic.
I feel you. Thank you, Charlie. All right. Let's move on to an article I did this week on wide receivers. Additions, trade cut candidate list. Does anybody on this list float your boat? I want to know. And before we even get there, is this a thing or not a thing? Like, if Jerry Jeudy got hurt, where would you be as a wide receiver? That's a thing, right? That's a real thing. Like if he has to miss one,
hopes and prayers.
32nd in the league by a wide margin.
Yeah. So this is a real thing, right?
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. I want to see the list, but
yeah, this is just a list of guys that you know.
Peruse.
This is just a list of guys that I think could be potentially available. after perusing through all of the other, teams' content and stuff, as they kind of, they start talking about cut bubble guys. I hate when our header does that.
Side note before we get started, Brad, I want to make a note. You need to get the calmer than you are soundbite from Big Lebowski on here.
Calmer than you are, bruh. All right. This is June 1st stuff. All right. So first one is Dobbs or Watson from Green Bay.
The Watson injuries scare me.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah.
The Watson injury scare you, but that's the reason why he would be available.
Yeah, no, I completely get it, but like we're a team dealing with enough injury history to target guys who are chronically injured. It doesn't feel right. He is talented, but they do have a problem because they have so many guys they drafted right around the same time. Those contracts will come up. They're going to have to get rid. They're going to have to move on from somebody. Let him get a late round asset. I could be in for that.
One thing that I think that they need to consider here, and I'm writing it. I'm literally was just working on this. I'm writing it for the website right now. And so that's the only reason I think about it is they don't have a guy who's like strictly a slot guy, a guy like they have guys that can win in the slot. Like Judy can win in the slot. Tillman can win in the slot. Deontay Johnson can win in the slot, but all three of those guys are at their best on the outside. So I almost wonder, like, if you go looking for someone that you potentially are looking for one of those guys in the slot because you believe those other guys can be on the outside. And then if they have to play more outside because, Jerry Jeudy's, if you lose Jerry Jeudy, now we've got to cover those outside snaps with Tillman and Deontay Johnson if he's around and things like that. Would they go and target a more slot specific wide receiver in the cut downs? And that's obviously not Christian Watson. But like, I think they're out there too. It's just something that I'm thinking about is like, they've never had a true blue, that slot wide receiver, like since Jarvis probably. Right. And I don't even think you would call him a true blue slot guy.
Well, not in the sense of just like quick twitch and get open early.
Yeah. That's what I mean.
I'm still not convinced that Judy isn't at his best in the slot.
He is at his best in the slot, I think.
Okay.
I feel like didn't he play more snaps in the slot last year?
I know he did the year before in Denver. I don't remember.
He did last year. I think it was like 65%, maybe 60. Maybe but
I feel like they have too many slots. I almost feel the opposite. I feel like they have too many slots. I feel like they need more outside guys.
Well, they need more size, right?
Yeah.
Outside of Tillman.
See, for me, it's Dobbs. Like, Dobbs is the dream. I like him. I think he's athletic. I think he can play the X or in the slot, right? I like him better than Watson even, just because of his injury history. If they're going to come off Dobbs, because, they drafted Golden, they signed Hardman. They have so many guys.
So
they have Reed, they have Wicks, they have. They're not going to be able to keep them all. I'd be calling about Dobbs.
Sorry, sometimes
Go ahead.
You have the snap counts.
Yeah, I'm really. Yeah, I do. I'm really bad about that. I apologize. I think people are done talking, so I start talking, and then I'm like, no, they're clearly still talking. You idiot! Shut up! I'm like,
No, you're good.
Last year, Jerry Jeudy had 64% of his snaps were out wide. So he had 488 out wide, and he had 266 in the slot. Now, I will say that the previous 3 years in Denver, it was 39 out wide, 45 out wide, 23 out wide. But, last year he played 64% of his snaps out wide.
Okay.
And, although I agree with you, Brad, that I did want to say that I would love Romeo Dobbs. That would be great. He's got some. 6'2", what? 6'2", 204. Yeah.
He plays bigger.
I think he does play bigger than that.
Jalen Polk. All right, so in New England is the other place they kind of have they're just too many guys, right? Polk, Diggs, Hollins, they brought in, and Kyle Williams, who I loved out of the draft. They already loved Mario Douglas, despite him being a later round draft pick. He's already in their good graces. So the guys that are on the outside or fighting for the back end of that depth chart is Keyshawn Butte, or whatever you say his name, Kendrick Bourne, and Javon Baker, and then Jalen Polk, who I already named. My favorite guy out of this group is Baker, actually.
Same. Look at us.
Oh, I love it.
Jimmy Baker's slow ass. I like him.
Dude, Javon Baker, like that was a draft crush of mine.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I'd absolutely be.
We're taking an upside stab here. Is really all that is. I don't think he's a plug and play guy. You bring him in and he's automatically in your rotation. But if you can get him in the room and see what he can give you, I think he has starting caliber traits. Why that didn't come to fruition? Because what did he catch? How many? He had like 2 catches or some shit last year.
He had 12 yards.
Yeah. I mean, it was not like I could see why they would be out based on what they've done to that room and looking to move on from him. And also, what are you giving up for him? A 7th?
Yeah. I don't know. I'd give up like probably a 6th, 5th.
He
was a 6th, right?
4th. He was a 4th.
4th. Okay. So I'd give up a 6 for him. Like, here's the thing, right? The waivers. The Browns are second in the waivers priority. So they can get a guy there when it comes to cut downs. And these guys are all rookie deal guys, so they would be part of the waivers process. But then you're going to have the free agent process. I don't expect them to be able to bring anybody in that area. So you really have to look at like flipping late round draft picks. If you love one of these guys a lot, you need to call, be proactive, like identify guys that might not make the roster, might get cut. They're going to want anything in turn for them. I'm just looking to upgrade 4, 5, and 6 anywhere I can, right? Like, they don't have to be tremendous players or even like guys that can come in. They have to come in and make an impact right away. They just need to have like the upside where I would like to see them play more. Like, I know what Mike Woods is. I know what David Bell is. I know what these guys are. Like, you got to be telling me we can't get better depth on this team at this point.
Depth with upside, playable depth. They need weapons. You can never have too many weapons. And right now, I think you're going into the season and it feels like you don't have enough bullets. Yeah,
I mean, I think you're depending on your rookie tight end and Njoku to carry a heavy load here.
And I think you're also you're hoping for a jump. One guy whose name keeps coming up, I'm writing on him, is Jamari Thrash. So you're hoping on a jump like that, and you would love to have. I would love to have multiple people that I view the way I view Jamari Thrash, because he didn't get a lot of run last year, but I see dynamic playmaking. He's so creative after the catch, but like in the wide receiver room, he's the one guy that I think that about. I like David Bell, but like, does he have dynamic playmaking upside? No. I mean, he could be a possession guy, but he's not going to like be a super creative yards after catch guy. Like that's just not who he is. And then like, I just read that. I kept talking and then I read the comment. Oh no. But like, yeah, because that's what, like you just said, Casey, that's what Javon Baker is. It's getting another draft pick that really hasn't, gotten a ton of run, but has shown traits that translate to making plays. And the more guys you have like that in the building, I do like Luke Floria a lot. He could be the slot guy, but like, yeah, I more lottery tickets. I'm never going to be mad. You don't have enough of them right now at that position.
Bill Sparks saying, what's coming. Looking free agency, a former first round pick in Philly at wide receiver. Nelson Aguilar calling that shot now.
If we're doing that, give me Treylon Burks, man.
If I'm doing that, I'm just signing Amari Cooper.
I like Treylon Burks too, but like here's the thing, I take a flyer on him. He's still rehabbing
I know.
his injury.
I know.
He's not even back yet. All right, Curtis Samuel. Anybody? I love Curtis Samuel. If you know this about me, and nobody else likes him but me. But
No, I'm down with it because that they could use that type of speed element.
yeah, he brings a fun element to your offense. He stretches the field a little bit. Buffalo, with Elijah Moore addition, and didn't they draft somebody too?
Caden Prather.
Yeah, so I mean Josh Palmer they brought in.
Oh, yeah, Keon Coleman. I mean, there.
Yeah, I mean he may be the odd man out. He's 28. He saves the team $430,000. It's not much, but I mean I would take a flyer on him. The next two I would take a flyer. I'm not like a huge Christian Kirk fan, but like beggars can't be choosers, right? Like Texans have selected the entire Iowa State roster now.
They have.
So
They love those guys.
Shout out for that strategy, man.
Yeah, Jaden Higgins and Jalen Noel in the draft. And so the 28-year-old Kirk could be on the way out.
He's one that's not a lottery ticket, but he's a floor raiser.
Yeah.
Because I've seen him be very productive in the NFL. Like it definitely and I could see him and Flacco getting along pretty well. Because he likes to push it down the seam a lot too, and I think that could work out.
Tampa Bay upgraded their wide receiver room. They did a really good job, actually. Egbuka in the first round, Tez Johnson in the 7th, Goodwin, went out with the ankle injury, but Sterling Shepard could easily become a potential, or he is a potential cut candidate, a player that could be acquired in a player-per-player swap, or releasing him would save Tampa $1.7 million. So now that we're past June 1st. So Sterling Shepard is interesting to me. I've always thought he's been a really good player. He just could never stay healthy in New York. But I mean, once again, late round draft pick, I would take a flyer on him.
I would just let him get cut.
You would?
Yeah, that's how they got him. He was on the scrap pile chilling without a team. You know what I mean? I think that's pretty. I think that could be his fate again.
Okay. Yeah. I'll listen to that. KJ Osborne has had a strong three-season run with the Vikings, totaling 1,845 yards before signing with the Patriots last offseason. However, he struggled to make an impact there. Went to the Commanders, where he actually played pretty well, especially in the playoffs. Re-signed this offseason. Despite that, it's a fully non-guaranteed contract. They acquired Debo, drafted Jalen Lane, and Terry McLaurin is in the middle of a contract dispute. If McLaurin re-signs, I think Osborne could be had. Am I crazy to think that?
No, I don't think so. I think you could potentially see that happening.
I don't have feelings one way or the other on KJ Osborne.
Oh, really? Okay. Does Quentin Johnson excite you at all?
Yes, it's easy to get caught up in a guy that had hype coming out, but he had definite deficit problems that he'd have to sharpen up once he hit the pros. And once he got the pros, he hasn't sharpened those up yet. Yeah. So you look at wide receiver rooms, who's coaching them up and out there, and like where the disconnect is, or does he just not have those abilities?
Yeah, can he ever be a more consistent catcher of the football? Because that's his issue, and that's the worst issue for a wide receiver to have. I think if he was super cheap, I'd be willing to do it because he brings what we've talked about not having, needing more size at that position too. Like, and he's a very good athlete for the size that he's at. So, like, it's definitely like if it's a conditional day 3 pick for Quentin Johnston, then yeah, I mean, I'd be willing to take a stab on it. But yeah, again, his issue is catching the football, which is his main job.
Yeah, agreed. I would take a flyer on him 100% with this room, though, especially since they drafted Trey Harris, right? That's kind of like 1 for 1 the way I look at those two, right? Or no?
That's fair. No,
Hat
that's
on
fair.
a hat. You got to go, Case?
No,
You
right
gotta
this
know.
second. I'll have to go. The army's going to come through the door here, and it'll be
right.
loud.
All right, let's speed it up then to more thing or not a thing. You're watching All Eyes on Cleveland. Thank you guys for tuning in. Hit like and subscribe and the notification bell. If you're watching over on X, hop on over to youtube.com, All Eyes on Cleveland, Orange and Brown Report streaming network, youtube.com/Orange and Brown Report is what I was trying to say. All right. The safety situation, right? We know they brought in the 2 veterans, Ronnie Hickman there. A thing or not a thing, are you concerned? Are you concerned about safety next to Grant Delpit?
Not as much as I was. I was deeply concerned. I like Casey a lot. I think that he's a player.
You do?
Yeah.
You like Casey? Okay. I'll listen to that. What do you
But
think?
It's still thin there. And when you hear Schwartz talk like we're a safety heavy team, it's like, should we be? Is that something we should be doing?
Yeah.
That doesn't feel like the move right here.
Maybe if you move one of those corners to safety, you could be a more safety. I'm not concerned, but I do have an eye on it, I guess is what I would say, because I do think Jenkins and Casey really significantly raise the floor of that room. They're not raising the ceiling, but they are very, like, they have defined roles in their careers where you're like, hey, this guy does this and he does it well. He's going to be a C- style player for you, but you know he's going to be a C- and not an F. He's not going to be an A, but he's going to be a C-. And I think Delpit is above there. It really hinges on Ronnie Hickman.
Exactly.
But I don't, like, with wide receiver, I look at one guy that's proven. I've got 3 proven guys in the safety room. So it's like, if Hickman can be awesome, that's great. Otherwise, I've got guys that are okay football players. They're solid football players. Like they do that on Locked On NFL Scouting. They got quality starter or sufficient starter as some of their labels.
Buckets.
Yes, they're buckets. And I think those guys are sufficient level starters.
Fair.
Well, let's review your earlier statement. If you were to move a cornerback to the safety room, who would you move? I think Miles Harden could play safety.
I was going to say Miles Harden
to the safety room.
If you were going a cornerback, if you were going to convert one of your corners to be that extra safety to kind of even things out, who would you choose?
I think they're already trying to do that with Nick Needham, but that's not what you're talking about. You're talking about one of our major corners, right?
Not major, no.
I would say.
I think they're already trying to do that with Nick Needham. I've seen him playing safety a couple times in clips, and he's a nickel guy. I think you're right, and I think I heard somebody say that they've been trying to use him at safety a little bit. So,
I like Miles Harden.
Yeah, I like Harden too much as a potential slot corner. But he, you can do both at safety, I guess. So, not Cam Mitchell. Tony Brown shouldn't even be a corner or on this roster, really. So I don't really know. I think you're fine. I'm not worried about depth there, really. I guess I'm just worried about, like, they're putting a lot on Hickman to like take this step that I don't know if he can take, if there's another step to take, right?
Yeah, it's obvious that they want him to be the guy that steps up
Yeah.
and is that starter, and you just need flexibility in your back end because you don't want to have to play Grant back there. He can do it, but he's so much better utilized being that chess piece. You know what I mean? That
they're a better defense when they can got somebody that can do both, and they can confuse.
And you don't have
use Delpit
JOK this year. Delpit's even more important because of that.
Exactly, especially against the run game. You mentioned tight end 3. Now, so the main hold on, I got another one here. Thing or not a thing, the Browns hiring the new health and performance staff this offseason.
I have a strong opinion on this.
Okay.
It's a thing because some of the people that they let go were here for like 15 years. So like they were very invested about trying to improve it. Whether it improves it or not, I don't know. But they were not like, it wasn't just a little tweak. It was like, we're giving a makeover, and they hired more. So now there's going to be more because that was part of the problem. The players had in the report card said they didn't feel there was enough number of training staff. Like the number wasn't there, but like they got rid of people that have been here for a really long time. And this has been an issue, at least Kevin's entire time here. And you couple that with the fact that people ask about the intensity of practices not being there under Kevin. And then all we've heard this offseason is the intensity has been turned up too. So when you put those two things together, I think it's significant.
Yeah.
3 and 14.
Yeah.
Sparks changes. A change in approach, a change in philosophy. And you know, like, and it might not work. It might not even, it might not make a noticeable difference to us. Right. But if it makes a difference to the players and they view it as a positive thing, then that can only help their performance. It won't hinder it. Now, you're not going to get out of freak injuries, and those things will still occur. But if we see less soft tissue stuff, if we just the things that we've been dealing with, like, it's not a coincidence that, you know, 2 years ago you led the league in players on the IR. Last year was second. You got to be in the top half of that. You got to find out a way. Now, does this change by itself do it? Maybe, maybe not. But you had to swing to find out. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I think it's a thing.
It goes hand in hand with this approach to camp, right? Where they're going faster. They're, you know, his whole speech about getting ready for, you know, X many games, practices, playoffs, whatever. Just looking at the whole, we're going as soon as we step in the door for training camp. It's not learning anymore. It's not teach time. It's go time. We're using that period now in minicamp. Teach you how to practice, get everything installed. Now it's go time when we arrive. The question is, will they follow through with that to the point like we saw a good sample size? Do they actually follow through with that? Because in the past, like last year, everything was so choppy and slow and this and that, and it felt like they played everything so safe. Does this new group that they hired have a different philosophy? Like, let's not play it as safe. Let's get guys ready to play with a more aggressive manner than, as I described accidentally on All Eyes on Cleveland, of an old man easing himself into the bathtub. Was the aggressiveness at which it felt like
the visual you just painted there.
Yeah, like
it's not. I was not prepared for that.
I heard that somewhere before, and I accidentally said it on Sports for CLE, and I was like, "That's not great." Anyways, but yeah, like I think that it felt like a very country club.
Do you think this approach bleeds into the preseason and we see more action?
No, I don't want it to do that.
I know you don't, but like we're changing things, right? They're obviously changing things, and will he change his stance on that?
I hope not, because I think the preseason is nonsense and not usable for your starters.
Yeah, because
how many of your cemented starters? Okay.
Yes.
There's some fringe guys, you know what I mean?
Fringe guys is different.
They didn't get work last year. They just, the guys who we consider fringe guys still were kind of protected last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I would think that 3 joint practices total. They got 1 with Carolina and 2 with Philly. I think that's where it's really going to bleed into it.
Yeah, the joint practices and yeah, fringe guys for sure. I'm just saying like your solidified starters.
Yeah, I don't want to see
think we'll
Denzel Ward
Or
I
Joel
don't-
wrap up
Bitonio.
a running
Yeah.
back during the preseason.
I don't think you need to see Flacco at all in the preseason, or preferably neither Kenny Pickett either.
No,
I would-
but
yeah.
I think that this isn't like there's rookies that are going to play roles on this team and might even get some high snap counts, man. I want to see them in the preseason. I don't want
Yeah,
their.
Judkins, Sampson, Graham. I would want to see
That's what
all
I'm saying.
Carson's
To
rushing.
review as starters, but like I don't want their first
Small
row
snap.
action to be week 1 against Cincinnati. I want them to.
Fair. That's fair. Rookies especially, and I feel like they've played rookies in the past, haven't they? They haven't been that way with rookies in the past.
We really haven't had rookies have to step into major roles as much as we're looking at this year.
It's a good question. I don't know off the top of my I don't know off the top of my head.
I feel like rookies always played in the preseason in the past because it's that's like something you got to do. Like you can't go in week 1 not knowing what the game speed is like at all, right? Like you've got to have some kind of feel for it.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
especially-
just pose this question. So I'm literally outside of Miles and Shelby. I want to see all those dudes.
So that brings me to my next question. Do you think there's a competition between Isaiah McGuire and Alex Wright for the starting edge?
Yes,
You do.
I do. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's fair.
Jack doesn't. Jack thinks Alex is gone.
I think Alex's versatility is too
I
valuable.
don't
to
think
get rid
Alex
of.
is gone. I think he's here. I think gone is crazy. But I think that Isaiah McGuire probably is your starter.
Yeah, I would lean towards him probably winning the job, but I do think Alex Wright has a shot to take it. Like I think they're giving him the opportunity, but McGuire, I probably would assume McGuire wins it.
I wouldn't be shocked if when this is all said and done, whoever takes the first snap of the game is whatever, that Alex Wright could outsnap him on a per game basis.
All right.
Especially because he can slip inside and be one of those
Yes.
pass rushers. Like if Malik Collins is hurt or tired or whatever, you could slip him and Mike Hall in there on that NASCAR package and put Isaiah McGuire and Miles, and do all those sorts of things. Yeah, I could see him out snapping because of sliding him in. Yeah.
His ability to slide inside and get after the quarterback, I think, is probably what makes him, for me, the most intriguing. I don't know if he can go play the wide 9 as well as Isaiah, like all the way outside.
I will say that he's still fantastic. He's setting the edge against the run, just like McGuire. He is very good at that. So either one of them out there, you feel pretty good against the run defense to that side on the outside, especially if you put Mason Graham next to him. You're like, you're not running over to this side, buddy.
So that brings up this question about the edge room. It's 3rd and 15, and you go Malik Collins.
Okay.
And who else are you going to go?
Hall.
Mike Hall,
probably, yeah.
Miles, and who's the guy you're bringing off the other
Joe
edge?
Tryon.
Yeah, it's Joe
Tryon or Ogbo?
Yeah, I'll
or-
move. He's here.
I'm going to be confused if he's still here.
I kind of am. too.
Really?
Yeah, but I thought he was going to be a post June. I thought that was going to be a deal back in March, and we would see it released eventually. But maybe they want to see what Tryon can bring into camp. But I would expect him to make the team and Ogbo to be the odd man out. But it's can they get something for him?
Yeah, I think I'm with you. The longer that Ogbo has been here, the more likely it obviously feels like he'll make the roster. But I'm kind of with you in the sense that they want to make sure Joe Tryon can bring that juice. Yeah. And once they see if he can bring that juice, that's probably when they would make a move. And if they don't make a move, that might be suggesting they don't think Tryon can bring that juice.
Yeah. He's uber athletic. He's long. Yeah. He's not been asked to do this specific role in the NFL yet.
They basically signed him to be a DPR. Like they were like, you're just a designated pass rusher. Like that is all we want you to
15,
do.
Like 3rd and 15.
Yeah. Exactly. 3rd and 15. That's the only time you're playing.
Yeah. But like, so here's my thing about Ogbo. Like, they signed him. He was an ascending player. He had a good year here. What do you have? Like 7.5 sacks, a decent year. But like, they thought he was an ascending player. Last year was not good, but who was good last year, right? But like, so my point kind of is like, yes, he hasn't ascended in the way they wanted him to, but he's still like creates pressure off the edge. He's still a useful player to you. I don't think he's bad. I think he's actually pretty good at times.
Yeah.
No, I'm not saying he's bad. I'm not trying to say you got to, but they made them. I follow their actions, and just the fact that they went and signed Joe Tryon, I think, is an indication that he could be on his way out for that role. But if Tryon can't, if he doesn't show him the juice, maybe there's a reason they still held on to him through now.
Yeah, there's definitely a competition going on there.
Really? Okay. I feel like they're too different. I don't know.
Yeah, but I mean, in the current setup, what do you want Ogbo to do? What more are you going to actually use him for than being a designated pass rusher? With the rest,
are we talking about McGuire and right, or Ogbo and Tryon?
Ogbo and Tryon.
Oh yeah, that's competition for sure. Yeah.
Okay.
I was talking about the other two.
Oh, okay. Because I was like, yeah, no.
Yeah.
I got you. Yeah.
Don't you think they're a little different, McGuire and right?
McGuire and Wright.
To necessarily be like a heads up. I think they're both on the team. So
yeah, I think their strong suits are kind of the same though, as far as being edge setting. You know what I mean? Run defenders first, who can get after the quarterback. I like both of them. This is a great problem to have.
Yeah.
If you look at the tiebreaker, it could come down to contract, and one's under control for 2 more years, one's on his last under control.
You're right.
And
You're right.
It's coming back from a bad injury too. So.
He looked good. And he was ahead of McGuire on that depth chart going into that. Right. And then he has the injury, and McGuire stepped up, and he's not getting the respect nationally, but people who, if you watch the games, man, 57 was holding it down.
He was.
Yeah.
And the question becomes then, because of the years you guys laid out, like if it is Alex Wright that you truly believe in, are you prepared to pay him an extension, or are you going to give it to McGuire? It would be easier. It's easier as a GM to hope that McGuire wins that.
Yeah, and you push that a year out too. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Interesting stuff. All right. The last thing, and it's the main topic everybody wants to talk about. We talked about it earlier this week, and then we'll get out of here because the finals, Game 6 tonight, starting in about 13 minutes. First of all, I know you don't watch basketball, Case. Do you know what's going on in the finals?
Yeah, no, I started watching the Wolves in OKC. That's when I started watching basketball this year.
What happens tonight? You got a prediction? Is it over?
No, here's the thing, and this is going kind of weird.
Indiana.
I was a Seattle Sonics fan. It's hard for me to watch OKC be good. It just
Boy, is it. I'll tell you what.
Indiana.
As somebody that played basketball, wrote about the Cavs for some time in my career back, with Fear of the Sword and stuff. Time out.
Yeah. As someone who outscored LeBron James in a basketball game, that's how you say that. What do you?
Yeah, you said that.
I don't want that. I hate
what
that.
are you talking about?
Yeah. What's up with
Anyway.
that?
Basketball.
Anyway,
Downplay your accomplishments.
That's not a real accomplishment. It's high school basketball.
What?
Come on, stop it. You're gonna make me blush. This series has been tremendously entertaining. Like, they play basketball the right way. They both push the ball. They both play defense hard. The thing that annoys the shit out of me is I feel like Oklahoma City is getting a wildly beneficial whistle throughout the entire series.
Yeah.
They foul and grab so much that you can't call it on every play, or else they never play the game.
Yeah,
They just eventually get away with
Legion of Boom secondary all over again.
Yes, that's exactly the same philosophy. Like, they grab you so much, hack you so much that at some point they have to let some of it go. But as soon as Shea Gilgeous-Alexander gets touched, the whistle blows. I mean, it's insane. It's infuriating to watch. They can't help but root for Indiana because of it. They're good. They got a gutsy team. Anyways, Jacob, you watch it? Are you not a basketball fan?
No, I don't have cable right now, and so no, the Cavs kind of shitting themselves the way they did. It just knocked. I was watching the Cavs this year. I did start watching the Cavs about January again, and I was like, yeah, this is fun. And then it's one of those things. The manner in which they did it, I haven't had it in me since. Now I followed it. Like I understand the ramifications, how it's been going, but no, I haven't. They kind of hurt. They killed it for me this year.
No, yeah, they fucked it up this year, man. They just need to, like, them seeing the best in the NBA and the way they play. That this should be eye opening for them, because like the way both teams come off the bench with dudes that are good, long, aggressive defenders and can shoot the three, like the Browns and the Cavs need to be able to do that as well. And right now, yeah, they can score, but they can't defend like that.
The Pacers' motor.
It's crazy.
Yeah. Effort
they never stop.
Those games,
No.
It was so obvious. The effort was way better.
Yeah. So it's hard I think, until they get a third guard that's bigger, that you can, like, they're just going to pick and roll those two little guards to death when it comes playoff time. Like, they're a great regular season team. Come playoff time, they're going to put Mitchell and they're going to put Garland in the pick and roll to death and just eat you alive, unless you have a bigger guard that can play D. So,
yeah. Well,
David, yes.
What bets do you have tonight?
I have too many to count.
Okay.
Too many to count,
Fair
brother.
enough. Fair enough.
Too many to count. Jacob's got the shirt on too.
My guys.
Will be available
My guys.
in the store soon. You can get it yourself. Yeah, appreciate you guys all being here. Last question tonight, though. Things I think I know. Things I think I know. No, not that. Things that are a thing or not. Brown's taking 4 quarterbacks into the season.
Not.
I heard this argument the other day that, like, do they want to be one snap away from DTR again? First, Dylan Gabriel and Shador Sanders' floors are so immensely higher than DTR's was. It's not even funny. So I don't think that is a comparable comparison. If you want a veteran, veteran backup, put one on the practice squad. Because if you try to put Dylan Gabriel or Shador Sanders on the practice squad, you're not going to have them anymore. They're going to be gone.
You can't.
Yeah, it's not happening.
It'll be both of them and probably Flacco, I think. But if you think it's Pickett, that's fine. Like Mary Kay thinks it's Pickett, so just Grossy. Everybody else, I can't see it.
Wow.
Yeah, right.
Did you hear?
You see those two specifically, huh?
I just wanted to say, and I like this person a lot, but Aditi went on some show.
Oh my God. It was unbearable.
She was trying to sell Pickett, but at no point in that like 10-minute segment did she ever give an actual trait that made you feel good. She was just saying, like, hey, he was doing this in Pittsburgh, and, like, why are we sleeping on him? She never even was like, he's really accurate, or he doesn't turn over the ball. She didn't even say anything like that, because she didn't have anything like that to say about him for 10 minutes while trying to make an argument for him. Can I be on that show? I would like to be on that show. I'd like to be on that show.
Everybody loves the shirts. All right, they're a hit. You nailed it with that one, Jacob. Yeah, I can't imagine them going in with 4. Like, if Flacco's not playing, then it should be you. Then you need to get one of the rookies out on the field, don't you?
What are we doing?
I think so. Yeah.
What are we doing at that point?
Yeah, because
unless you really think they're not ready.
Yeah. Yeah, because then you go to like, because everybody's like, well, how do you balance winning and getting the rookies ready? It's like, well, if I don't have Flacco, if I don't have Flacco, I want the rookie. I don't want to see if they can win with Kenny Pickett.
That's how I balance it. You balance it with Flacco. You say he is respected by all the vets. He brings some legitimacy to the locker room.
Mhm.
They're gonna feel like they can go win games with him, especially if you have him now, and you can create the identity that they want to create, where they can run the football and play with heavy tight end packages and play good defense. And unlike where when he was here in 23, they had no running game. They were trying to run the clock out, throwing the ball all over the yard. You can't do that. I mean, he can't throw it 40 times a game in this offense. I don't think. I mean, he can, but like, I think you should be aiming for less than that on a weekly basis.
Dude, the way they handle the draft with the running backs, they're telling you that is not the plan. Does that mean the running game takes off? No, things have to gel. And if they don't, we could see that. We could see, because when they first brought Flacco in, I was like, well, surely they're going to try to keep him under, 30 some attempts. And it wasn't immediately.
Dude, we thought that every week. We're like, there's no way. And then they did it again.
So that world does exist, but if the running game gels, then no, man, you're trying to keep that 32 or below.
Yeah. I mean, there will be games that
just get out of hand.
Yeah.
Hopefully not. I mean, hopefully this defense does what I think it can do, and
yeah,
you can play things closer to the vest and not have to take so many chances, chucking it all over the yard, especially when you have a unproven wide receiver core.
Facts. Now, you could get the best of Cedric Tillman if he continued like the play he had before his concussion, and Thrash could come out of nowhere. And if you get if
Fannin could be a revelation as tight end too.
Fannin plays well, and then say you got Deontay Johnson not to get in trouble and keep his head on straight, like that raises the. Now we're talking about a wide receiver core I can live with. And you could sustain an injury with Thrash for a week or whatever, right? Like, but that's like thin ice, right?
That's a small needle to thread, man.
Yeah.
A lot of things have to go right and a little bit of luck for them to be competitive, but or to be a winning team, a playoff team,
it's not out of the realm.
It's not even close. Like, I know a lot of things have got to go right, but like they're there though. The path is still there. I can see it.
It's the same roster that won 11 games 2 years ago.
Yes. It's the thing I want to lean on is it's Kevin's bread and butter. He can call this style.
He can do it in his sleep.
The one
it's
week
predicated
at a time,
on the running game for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, the 1 week at a time.
1-0 each week.
Yeah, against this schedule, and you might get some breaks and get some backups in there, and you never know how the schedule plays out and whatever. Rodney, they're not going to trade Shador. They're eventually going to play him, but
he'll play this year.
Yeah, he'll definitely play.
But you don't think it'll be week one?
No.
I believe he'll play. I don't think it'll be week one. But I have the field, so I'm very comfortable.
You know what I mean? That's different.
Unlike someone else above me. Those chips are painful. Have you done that bet before?
Yeah, it's on the internet. You can find it.
So
Where's
you
that
survived
shirt?
it once. So you know
I've
how
survived
to.
it once, but this one's actually supposed to be hotter because that was like 3 years ago that I did it.
Yeah.
No, they won't trade him either way, Rodney. Sorry to tell you. If he doesn't play, no, they won't trade him.
But no, I mean,
why would you?
Silly.
But if he's ready, I think he'll play. It's not like they have time to screw around. You have to balance the competition, being competitive, keeping the locker room. Because of the debacle of last year with Watson and playing a guy that everybody knew wasn't your best chance to win for 8 straight weeks, you can't do that again this year. The second you play somebody that isn't your best chance to win this year, you lose the locker room.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like
That's all
that
she
was
wrote.
you got a gimme on that. But if you start pulling that shit again, you're going to lose everybody, and it's going to get ugly. So that's why I still think Flacco starts, because of that. Because week 1, he gives you your best chance to win. Now, week 6, that may be different. That's where I'm at. I think it's a fluid situation.
It's a fair
When you have 2 rookies and guys like that, it's fluid. I think.
Yeah, and, I mean, even if he's doesn't get hurt to where he's out of the game, but he's not at 100%, and they are like, well, Shador is at 100%, and him at 100% is better than Joe at 70. Like you just don't. It's incredibly fluid for that reason.
In my ideal scenario, Flacco gets you through 6 games and you're 4-2. That's all I want from him. I'm looking at like a baseball game. He's my my starter. Right? He's my opener. He's just got to get me through 6 games, that rough part of the schedule, and win 3 or 4 of them. And then we can make it the rest of the way.
Then is it dime time in Cleveland?
Dime time?
You didn't see the shirt?
No.
Big Place selling a shirt it's a Shador Sanders shirt, and it says dime time. It's dime time in Cleveland. Instead of prime time, because he's a quarterback, it's dime time.
That's a stretch.
Yeah, I pulled my hammy trying to follow that one.
Yeah.
Hey, I didn't make it up.
No, you made those shirts. Those are the shirts you made. Wise decision. Crush those dime time sales.
Yeah. All right. Good stuff. Yeah. So I think you get the rest of the way with whatever, with Shador. At that point, you may have to start looking around just to have. I mean, have a backup.
Jacob said it, man. You can get a veteran that's sitting on their couch, put them on your practice squad, break glass in case of emergency. But with them doing what they did for the extra first-round pick next year, if something happens to Joe, you got to find out what these dudes are.
Right. And it could be like Shador for 5, and say he gets dinged up, Flacco for 1. Now he's, he recovered. He gets back in for 1, and then back to Shador. It could be like a, you just patch job it. You just take it 1 week at a time, right? You just say, who's healthy this week? Who gives us the best chance to win this week? He plays, and that's it. I think if you do it that way, you get an honest response from your locker room and your fan base.
Room. Yep.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right. With that, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get out of here. Thank you so much for watching All Eyes on Cleveland. I apologize for losing my temper earlier. I should not have done so, and I won't do it again. I promise I will keep my cool on the air like that. It was very unprofessional, but didn't like that very much.
That S word, that cut straight through you.
I didn't know. Man. Yeah, I didn't know. I didn't know which word would do it, but
I didn't mean to lose my but it's just like, it's not even the word. It's just the
implication
concept.
that's what
it's the implication.
Doing.
The implication that I'm putting on some kind of an act just for I'm like, what's like all the guys on Fox Sports and stuff do, like they have some persona they put on. Yeah. Oh, you disagree with me?
No, I don't
do that.
I just wasn't prepared for you to call him out like that. I was just a little taken back.
Strays.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
I do, and I agree with you.
The barbarians have breached the door.
Yeah. All right. Go handle that. Thank you guys for watching. Stick with us here at the OBR. We'll have you covered all the way up until camp for the one and only Casey Kinnamon. Spam Kinnamon, baby. go get it now or as soon as it's available
This is insane
at
story.
the link in the description below. Thanks for watching. As fun, always a blast with all of you guys. Love you guys so much in the chat, and thank you, Brandon. And thanks for hanging out with us. For Casey Kinnamon, for Jake Roach, the creator of the Spam Kinnamon t-shirt, we are out.